Coming up on halfway here at Chicagoland Speedway in today's NASCAR Busch Series race, Matt Kenseth is your race leader in the 17. There is one less car on the racetrack in competition now than there was a moment ago. Kenny Wallace coasted down onto the apron in turn 1 and then around the track and behind the wall.
And we see the driver taking his helmet off. That's not a good sign. That means he is not going to participate anymore today. Wheel comes off, helmet comes off, he's finished.
All right, last time we tried through the field, we had a caution flag come out and interrupt us. Let's try it again. The leader, Matt Kenseth, out in front, and that would be Matt Yoakum, who will lead us off.
And Matt Kenseth chasing his second win in 2004. The chassis adjustment on his stop helped the car on entry, but it's tightened up a little bit too much on exit. They're also keeping in mind fuel mileage. Their next stop should come somewhere around lap 116. Dave?
Greg Biffle still having trouble with his car, Matt. It was tight the last time they stopped. It's still tight. Next time they come, they want to take some wedge out of, or make a wedge adjustment, make an air pressure adjustment, and then fix the left front. They didn't fix it last time because they didn't want to lose track position. Matt?
Mike Bliss back up to third. Now the chassis adjustment his team made on the last stop helped the tight off problem, and he is slowly working his way to the front. He's never won in NASCAR Busch Series competition. Maybe today is the day. Marty?
Matt, Jeff Burton's car is in the 4th position. It's really come to life in this segment. It is still tight. He said it's better, but we need to be better yet if we want to win this race. He said, I want to run the bottom of the racetrack, but my car's so tight, it just won't let me. He has finished 3rd in both of his races here at Chicago, Dave.
Marty, for Robbie Gordon, there's a reason why his crew chief Bob Temple thinks they can adjust this car and make it better. It's been loose, and they can't seem to get it out, but the car finished 7th at Darlington this year, and the 2 races at Nashville this year, a 5th and a 14th. Robbie loves this car, and they think they can adjust it. Marty?
Dave, Casey Kane has just gone around Michael Waltrip on the racetrack. He said his car is tight off of the corners. Tommy Baldwin, his Nextel Cup Series crew chief, is sitting on the box with Paul Andrews. They have also been tight on the restarts. That's really hurt them. They lost 3 spots in 3 laps on the last restart. Michael Waltrip just behind him. Michael's car tight as well. That's good for Michael because he loves to run that high line. This is the same car Michael used to win the race with at Nashville. Behind Michael Waltrip on the racetrack, Joe Nemechek. He said his car is pretty good. They made no adjustments last time. Maybe they should have freed it up a little bit because now it is tight. Great in the clean air, but when he's behind someone, this should sound familiar to Wally, he gets too tight. Same thing for Jason Leffler. He said when he's behind another race car, his car is too tight. But when he's free by himself, the car is awesome. Matt?
And the leader has dropped off the track and is coming to pit road at lap 90. Did we just hear from Matt? Expect him in at 116?
Right.
So an unscheduled stop for Matt Kenseth. And Matt Yoakum is hustled down to add more for us.
He jumped on the radio and said, I'm coming now, I'm coming now. Get ready, get ready. The guys are going to work on the left side, adding fuel to the race car. The leader, 4-tire change as they go to work on the left side of Kenseth's car. Slow stop. He's finally down in the way.
Yeah, man, he obviously felt something he didn't like. When you jump on the radio and go, I'm coming now, that means there's something with that race car that you felt that you didn't like and you want to get it changed.
And I was watching him because behind him, Mike Bliss was passing Greg Biffle for a second, and all of a sudden they came up on Kenseth in a hurry in 3, like it was at the end of the backstretch or something when he decided he needed to hit pit road in turn 4. Matt, you got more?
Allen looking at the right front tire. You can see where the inside shoulder has completely worn away. He had a flat right front.
There you go.
Okay, good catch by Matt Kenseth. I'll tell you what, after you hit these walls a few times after blowing a right front tire, doesn't take much to hit pit road, does it?
You get that feel down.
Yeah.
And so, because Bliss was passing Greg Biffle for second, just as Matt Kenseth was heading for pit road, there's your new leader. And our new record for lead changes in this race, as we've had our 8th one today, so that equals the mark.
Now we were talking about it earlier, BP. This racetrack looks great. Looks very racing.
Boy, it really does. These guys are running high, they're running low. It looks terrific.
So Mike Bliss now led 4 races this season, all coming in the last 5 events of the NASCAR Busch Series. Joe Gibbs Racing Team with some momentum on their side as Bliss tries to scramble back into contention for a top finish in the championship. Just joining us, championship has been a big story of the day today. Kyle Busch was leading early when he had a flat right front. That was at lap 40. He dropped onto pit road, fell a lap and a half down. He's since gotten back on the lead lap and is up in 11th position. And then Martin Truex Jr. around lap 54 tangled with David Stremme and got some damage on his car. He was black flagged, had to make repairs, and he is struggling along back in 25th position.
And struggling is right, Alan. He's not going anywhere in that car, but Kyle Busch is flying in that 5 Lowe's car.
There he is, just past Tony Raines for 10th.
This could be a big points gain for him today.
And folks, the 5 car, Kyle Busch, I talked to his dad, Tom, earlier today, and 3 years ago, almost to the day, he was here testing a truck for Jack Roush. Was going to drive a truck at 16 years old. NASCAR woke up and said, you know, wait a minute, that's a little bit too young to be driving in competition. They changed the rule, you had to be 18, so here he is, 19 years old, has won 3 times already in the NASCAR Busch Series.
It's unbelievable, the amount of talent that these kids are coming to the upper levels of NASCAR racing with. They're starting younger. Go-kart racing and quarter midget racing like Bobby Labonte and his track there in Salisbury, North Carolina. They're starting at a young age. Used to be where when you were a kid you could play Little League Baseball, but you couldn't really race. Now you can race just like you could play Little League Baseball or football, and it's showing in these latest generations of drivers that are coming along.
And they're getting in some pretty nice equipment, which definitely helps.
And this is big. The leader, Mike Bliss, 20, is put in the NASCAR Busch Series points leader, Martin Truex Jr., the 8 car, a lap down. Chance of victory today, gone away. He had a crash earlier with David Stremme, but Wally, a couple laps ago, this happened.
Yeah, I would say his car's probably a little bit loose right now without that rear body work. Just touches the wall. Insult to injury.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a little kiss of the fenders there on the barrier.
Not getting credit, didn't back up too much off the throttle as he kissed the wall.
So Truex Jr. now a lap down in 26th place, Dave.
Alan, is it too early in the year to tell Wally that he's right twice in the same race?
Don't do it, please.
Really loose on the 8 car. Just went down to his pit, and Kevin Mannion, the crew chief, said bad, very bad.
And here's the 3rd place car on pit road at lap 105. It's a little early for the green flag stops. Jeff Burton is in. Marty.
Alan, it is a little early. Jeff said, I might have a tire going down. They were about 5 or 8 laps away from their pit stop. They said, let's go ahead and do it now. What they changed is 1 pound out of both left side tires. Jeff's car's been tight all day long. That pound should loosen his car up. He feels like we have a shot to win if he can stay up front with these guys. It shouldn't hurt him too bad.
She had 18-second pit stop. Folks, did you see what happened? The Jackman did not get the car up high enough with that 1 pump. The rear tire changer took the lug nuts off. The tire was hitting the ground, would not come off. Cost him about an extra 3 seconds.
So Jeff Burton rejoins the chase. We'll see where he cycles back into the field here in a second. The leader is Mike Bliss. He's got a 2.5 seconds on Greg Biffle. Now Casey Kane moves up to 3rd. Robbie Gordon 4th and Michael Waltrip 5th. Then you've got Jason Leffler, Joe Nemechek, Ron Hornaday, Kyle Busch 9th, and Tony Raines 10th. Now Matt Kenseth, after his unscheduled green flag stop back at lap 90, is now the 2nd car 1 lap down in 26th place. And Jeff Burton is going to show in 28th place, and he's going to be the 4th car 1 lap down.
See Kyle Busch still moving forward. He's going by Ron Hornaday, the 8 car. That's the 2 car battle for the 8th position.
That car is fast.
It is fast.
Fast in traffic.
And here comes Matt Kenseth, the 17 car, who had that unscheduled stop.
And he's going to go by these guys pretty handily because he's got fresher tires.
Yes. And all these guys know that. I mean, all the spotters are telling the drivers like Kyle, here comes 17, Matt's on fresh tires. So you're pretty much just going to get out of their way because they're going to pass you.
Jamie McMurray, Tony Raines on pit road. It's been a tough day to be a contender to win this thing. Contenders' calamities, if you will, here at Chicagoland today. Kenseth had a problem while being out in front. Bobby Hamilton Jr., heavy favorite to win the race, out with an engine. Kevin Harvick lost oil pressure. Kyle Busch had a flat tire at lap 40. Martin Truex Jr., we talked about his problems, and then Kenseth.
And then Jeff Burton, but Jeff Burton's deal was not too bad because he can make the race on one more stop. So if you're feeling anything wrong right now, it's not too bad to come in the pits and change it, because it's not like you're going to lose an extra lap if this thing goes green.
Right, if it cycles.
Matt, you got more on Matt Kenseth for us?
Benny, besides being down a lap, Alan, he's also short on making it one more stop. Now, Robbie Reiser is still here in Kenseth's pit, but a number of crew chiefs and crew members from the Nextel Cup teams have been here. Chad Knaus, Pat Trice, and Doug Richard, someone from the 24, someone from the 10, and also the tire special from the 38, all interested in what might have been the problem on that right front tire that came off Matt Kenseth's car. His crew chief, Cully Barclough, told him, make sure the blower's on to direct air toward that right front inside shoulder to keep it cool.
Wally, that kind of goes back to what you were saying just before the race started, how for the guys that are doing double duty, today is as much about learning for tomorrow as it is winning today.
And you see how many of the guys from the Cup side have come over.
Yep.
They're trying to learn all they can. This is really a great test for tomorrow, that edge.
Starting to see some more guys trickle onto pit road. Johnny Sauter, Tim Fedewa, all coming in. Regan Smith is on pit road, so now we'll see when some of these front runners like Mike Bliss and Greg Biffle will begin to come onto the pit road.
Joe Nemechek is making his way down off the racetrack onto pit road.
And Jason Leffler is in as well. Watching Kenseth try and work his way back up through the traffic. Here's Leffler in for his pit stop. Marty, go ahead.
Jason Leffler has been free in, tight off Allen. The car's been fairly good. They've been talking him through traffic. They make an air pressure adjustment to help him out. About 8 stalls behind him, Joe Nemechek. His car's been really tight on this run. Got tighter the longer they ran. Up 2 rounds on the track bar for Nemechek. 4 tires. A little long on the left side. Well, they dropped the jack. There goes Joe.
And it looks like Robbie Gordon, the 55 car, ran out of fuel because he was slow, coasted to the apron on 3 and 4, Dave.
First I got the 60, Benny. Greg Biffle is in. They're going to make a wedge adjustment for Biffle. His car was still tight. Remember, they were going to try to put that tape patch on the left front as well to help the handling of that car. Meanwhile, Robbie Gordon coasting into his pit. Out of fuel. He said, guys, I didn't be able to tell what pit road speed is because my tachometer doesn't work. So they will try to change 4 tires on that car. It's still loose. Make the adjustment you just saw with the wrench in the rear window and try to restart that car and get Robbie going again.
And not lose a bunch of time doing it. Make sure he doesn't stall, but was he running when he, or wasn't he running? I couldn't tell there.
He was coasting down pit road. And we got trouble in turn 3. Robert Presley is around. The caution flag is out in the middle of green flag pit stops.
Oh man, oh man.
Now you got your work cut out for you, Alan.
And here we go.
I'm going to sit here until you get it all sorted out.
Field is frozen. And this brings into mind a minor adjustment to the rules on freezing the field that NASCAR made this week regarding cars on pit road when the caution comes out. We'll get to that in a minute.
Here's a guy that did run out of gas by the looks of it.
And he will not start.
Jason Keller. Matt?
Go, 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 go.
Out of gas. They finally got it to fire as he was leaving the pit box. It stalled again, and now they are just pushing it down pit road. It will not start. Now they finally get it to go, BP.
And Mike Bliss, the 20 car, has not pitted yet. Pit road is closed. There we see Robert Presley, the 47 car. Oh, he makes a little contact there with the 14 car.
It looked like the car just kind of came up
yeah,
off the bottom of the track
it looked like the car was wiggling, like it was almost maybe wiggling it for fuel or something.
He might have been out of fuel and just slow in front of the 14. That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
It's on board Martin Truex.
Watch out right here in front of you. Watch right in front of you.
Oh, that was weird.
Come on around. Come on around. Caution down. Caution down. Caution is out.
And Presley has come down pit road while it is closed.
Well, they didn't have to push it to restart it or anything, and he got it to pit road, so
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We'll have to follow up on that one, see what the team says. Because the replays only lead to more questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike Bliss is the leader. Michael Waltrip is second. Kyle Busch is third. J.J. Yaley is fourth. Fifth is going to be Ashton Lewis, followed by David Green and Mike Wallace.
All those cars are on the lead lap.
Those are the lead lap cars who had not pitted yet. Justin Labonte's the first car lap down at the caution. He gets the lucky dog pass. He'll come around in 8th. Everybody else is at least a lap down.
I can't.
And so what's going to happen here is some of these guys aren't going to pit. We're going to have a bunch of people on the tail end of the lead lap for the restart.
Is pit road's not open? Yes, not.
Pit road is closed for the moment.
Oh, I see him down there now. Okay.
Robert Presley dropped some debris apparently on his way in.
Gotcha.
So we'll take a break here before the pit stops. Another twist of plot here at Chicagoland Speedway today.